I like Kazmina, Ugin, and Karn.
Yeah.
I don't know who the artists are in those ones, but they're the best.
Presumably they're Japanese. Alrighty, well, welcome to another episode of On Curve EDHcast.
Yeah. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is you have chosen to listen in with us. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here hanging around with us.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are doing a deck tech.
Yeah.
Of a special...
Kind of. I like to call them a deck snapshot.
A deck, it's like you have like a... I don't know, I was going to compare it to something. It's a puzzle piece. It's a piece of a puzzle. Yeah.
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay, let's just call it a snapshot.
Yeah. So we're doing deck snapshots on this show, and the reason for that is we're not going to give you a full deck. We're going to tell you here's some really cool key cards for a commander, some nice synergies, and you can kind of take them and start running to make your own deck. And part of the reason why we like to do it this way is for two reasons. Number one is that Commander is about personal expression and uniqueness, and so this kind of just gives you the starting line to start building the deck on your own. But also, it can be really hard to build a full Commander deck or to like comment on someone else's deck if you don't know their meta. So for some people, it might be that they're playing a butt ton of removal, and they feel like they have to because of how their meta is.
Yeah. And
there's some people that are like, don't leave home without a counterspell, and that's because of how their meta is. And so we didn't want to, give out these stock deck lists because you got to be able to tune your deck to your meta. So we're just going to give you, 8 to 14 cards or so to help you get started on your deck.
Yeah. And I really like what Will said about kind of making the deck your own. I think that, going to, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to EDH Rec or whatever website you use and just copy and pasting, because like sometimes you just don't know what cards are. And I think that's a big part of Magic, is the fact that there are so many cards. There's no way for you to know that every card that exists. And so that's why I think that EDH Rec is a super valuable tool. But if you're looking to move on to that next step and to kind of just be able to be more unique with your decks. And I think that, just kind of branching out from that, because I use EDH Rec regularly to kind of just like help me get a baseline. Like, all right, what do I want to be doing with this deck? What are just good cards I don't know? And I think this is just another way for us to do that. So, to get into it today, we are talking about a good man and his good boy.
Let's see who... I bet people can guess what we're talking about today.
Oh, my computer's... Yeah. Good golly.
Is it freaking out?
Yeah, my computer's a fun thing, and it has seizures on the reg. But the man that we are talking about today is Tolsimir.
Technically not a man.
Is he not? He's an elf. Well, a good elf today. We are talking about Tolsimir, friend to wolves.
Friends.
Friends.
Friend to wolves.
Tolsimir is 5 mana. He's 2 generic, 2 green, and 1 white. He's a legendary creature, and he's an elf scout. He's a 3/3. And what he reads is, when he enters the battlefield, you create Voja, friend to elves. Friends. She is a 3/3 green and white wolf creature token. Cool. 5 mana, 2 3/3s. Good deal. But he also has this text on him that reads, whenever a wolf enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 3 life, and that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
Yeah, man.
I really like Tolsimir because he's nice little just like life gain, and also he's kind of like not control, but like managing your opponent's board states. Like, that's a problematic thing, and I don't want you to have that. So I'm gonna get rid of it by playing a wolfy friend.
I like Tolsimir because it's kind of realistic to life. You got a boy and you got his dog. And they're friends, but that dog doesn't like other people. That dog will bite other people and bark at other people, but he'll like his boy. He'll give him licks and cuddles and stuff. So it's like real life. They're friends, but not to other people.
Would not be a normal episode if Will did not make a weird allusion to something in life.
Okay. We're gonna bring in some friends.
We're gonna bring in some good boys.
Tolsimir is a friend to wolves, and the wolves are coming.
The wolves are coming. So, how exactly are we gonna make some wolves? Well, one of the great ways for us to make wolves is, well, number one, this is my favorite one, and probably the easiest one to do, is his name is Master of the Wild Hunt. And he is a 4-mana, 2 generic, 2 green for a 3/3. He is a creature, he is a human shaman. And he reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. So every upkeep, you're creating another wolf. And you have the ability, and also, to make it clear with Tolsimir, you don't have to fight someone else's creature. That's up to 1. So you can choose 0, and you don't have to fight anything. So if there's like, oh, shoot, my creature's just going to die, there's no purpose of putting him on the battlefield. But the good thing is, you don't have to. You can just be creating wolf tokens, which is just cute, fun. Then he also, Master of the Wild Hunt, has the ability to tap himself. You tap all untapped wolf creatures you control, and each wolf tapped this way deals damage equal to its power to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power divided as its controller chooses among any number of those wolves. So, kind of like Tolsimir, but you build up a board state and then you swipe it. So it's a good way, so if you didn't have those wolves fight on coming in, then you just have them fight now. And I think that that's super fun and super cute.
Friends fight.
Friends fight. Oh, I was wondering what it sounded like. It sounds like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to
Yes.
allude? Yeah, okay. I was trying to get it. I was like, what is this? But as soon as you said that, I was like, okay, it's Stranger Things.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that Tolsimir is, not Tolsimir, Master of the Wild Hunt is a super, super awesome way to kind of get that going. Will, what's another fun wolfy
Next,
man?
we have the Wolfbriar Elemental. And I really like this one because the art is super on theme. Because you've got a fun little root elemental guy, and then he's got a woofer friend on top of him. Just kind of like chilling out, just like, I'm a wolf.
I really do like that art. I do.
Yeah, it's nice. Alright, Wolfbriar Elemental is a 4-mana, 4/4, 2 and 2 green, 4/4 creature elemental with multi-kicker, green, and you can pay any amount of additional green, and if you do, you get the effect for the amount of green that you paid extra. When Wolfbriar Elemental enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token on the battlefield for each time it was kicked.
So if you kick him 3 times, so if you pay 7 mana, you're getting 3 2/2s along with Wolfbriar Elemental.
And don't forget that for Tolsimir, whenever a wolf enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life.
Yeah, so you're gaining that 3 life no matter what. You don't have to fight someone to gain that 3 life. So that's super awesome. So you're just paying 3 mana to gain 9 life. And maybe remove some other your opponent's creatures. Maybe remove their commander, their Atraxa, or whatever it is. Just having fun, just creating wolves, gaining that life, killing some people. I think that Wolfbriar Elemental, and I like that he brings a mass amount.
Yeah, and he scales with the game. He's good at any point in the game.
Yes.
So
I think that really can signify like the value of a card, of its ability. You know, I think that like having a card that's good early game and late game is just awesome. Like having this on turn 5 isn't horrible. Like obviously you probably will play Tolsimir, so having this on turn 6 then, let's say. Creating 2/2/2s and getting double triggers off of Tolsimir and setting some people back with their creatures on board, I think that that's awesome.
it's a little intense on green mana, because you can only kick for green.
Yep. So that might be restrictive, and you might not be able to have that. I still think that Wolfbriar is very, very awesome in his capacity to just scale, and I think that I appreciate you said that. The next person we have is Wolfier. Oh, hey, computer, don't do this to me right now. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, good golly. Okay, I'm sorry, everyone, that my computer is... Hey, Will, do you want to tell us about Wolfier?
I'll tell you about Wolfier Silverheart. Alright, Wolfier Silverheart is a 5-mana, 4/4 creature wolf warrior with Soul Bond, which says you may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enters the battlefield. They remain paired for as long as you control both of them. and as long as Wolfear Silverheart is paired with another creature, each of those creatures get +4/+4.
Yeah. So we're going to go into a little subsection of Soulbond, because I think that that's such a cool mechanic to do with Tolsimir. So I don't think Will said this, but Wolfheart is a 5 mana for 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 green for 4/4. It's also a wolf, so this can fight something when it comes in. So it's a 4/4, come in, punch on something in the face. But also, every time you have one of your wolves enter battlefield, it's no longer a 2/2 or a 3/3. It is now a 6/6 or a 7/7 because Wolfear Silverheart is pumping them up, because you can have them Soulbond first, and then you can have the fight ability go on second. So
also, it'll pretty much always enter as an 8/8.
Yep.
Because if
if
you're getting the fight ability, then you have Tolsimir on the battlefield. So you Soulbond it to Tolsimir, and then it enters as an 8/8, and it just nukes something.
Yep. I think that Wolfear Silverheart is super good.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah, next on our list of the fun Soulbond dudes, and these ones are kind of... Oh, we're going to do these later on. We're just going to do them now because we're kind of in a Soulbond subsection.
Okay.
We have Nearheth. I think that's how you say it. Nearheth Pilgrim.
Near Hearth?
And that's not... There's no R. I think it's Nearheth.
Huh.
Yeah.
Near Heath?
Near Heath? Heath?
I don't know.
It's almost like Keith.
It's from Innistrad, so it's like...
Maybe
German.
Yeah, it's German. All right. So Nearheth Pilgrim is a 2 mana, 1 white, 1 generic for a 2/1. Is a creature. It's a human cleric with Soulbond. You guys know what Soulbond does. And it says, as long as Nearheth Pilgrim is paired with another creature, both creatures have lifelink. So when that creature enters the battlefield, so you're gaining that extra life. So we're kind of have a little bit of a sub theme of life gain in this deck, because Tolsimir just kind of does it naturally. But just that extra ability to gain you some life. So whenever one of those creatures enter in the battlefield and you have it life linked with something, that's gonna be super awesome. Also, if you have Wolfear Silverheart and Nearheth Pilgrim in at the same time, be able to dome someone's creature for like 6 or 7, and then gaining that life back. Super cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like it.
Then, to make your wolves just a little more potent, a card that I really like is Nightshade Peddler.
Yeah.
So this is 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 green for a 1/1. It's a creature, it's a human druid, it has Soulbond, and it reads, as long as Nightshade Peddler is paired with another creature, both creatures have Death Touch.
So those woofies, they got Poison Fangs now.
They're going to kill whatever they touch now. And I think that that's super awesome. So they're entering the battlefield, binding with Nightshade Peddler, killing whatever they're touching.
Boom.
Done.
Boom.
Dead.
Kablam.
Kaplow.
Yeah.
I like Nightshade Peddler
like it too.
I like the capacity. I like the Soulbond mechanic because I think that you're able to get more benefit out of your creatures.
I especially like the Nightshade Peddler because it means that, your woofs that come in as like 2/2s, they will automatically be removal no matter what. They're just you're not gonna feel sad about being like, oh, I got my wolf in the battlefield. It can't kill anything right now, so it's kind of not, I don't get as much value out of it. But with Nightshade Peddler on the battlefield, it's just always going to kill things, and it's going to kill stuff for free because typically, with stuff like Master Wild Hunt, it just makes a free wolf on your upkeep.
Yep.
And so, Nightshade Peddler, that's just going to turn it into a free kill any creature on your upkeep.
No.
Which is sick.
I think that giving your creatures Death Touch, and there's another one that does it, it's Ren's Run Packmaster. It also gives wolves you control Death Touch. I think that giving your creatures the ability to have Death Touch just kind of ups your ante, makes you just a little bit more of a threat that people wouldn't anticipate with just a wolf deck. Yeah. So a card, oh gosh, I think this is super cute. Will you tell us about Sword of Body and Mind?
Sure. Okay, so Sword of Body and Mind is an equipment, and it costs 3 mana, and it says equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from green and from blue. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token on the battlefield, and that player puts the top 10 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So this is something sick to suit up Tolsimir with. It's going to make it so that he can swing in for some extra damage, and whenever he connects, you get to make another wolf.
Yeah. No, I thought this was super cute. And honestly, that's the cheapest sword. It's like $13. So it's kind of just like, oh, this isn't too bad to grab. Like, that's not going to drain the bank account. I thought that was adorable. And I love that.
I like it quite a bit.
Yeah. Another dude who we have is Wolfear Avenger. Will, would you also like to tell us about that one?
So, Wolfear Avenger is a 3-mana 3/3. He's 1 generic 2 green for a creature Wolf Warrior, and he has Flash. You can cast him anytime that you play an instant, and he has the activated ability of 1 and a green, regenerate Wolfear Avenger. So he's going to come down, he's going to gain you some life, he's going to fight a dude, and if that other dude is a 3/3, and normally they would trade, you can pay an extra 2 mana and regenerate your Wolfear Avenger. Or you can just have him enter at instant speed, kind of like an instant speed kill spell, and take out their creature.
Yeah. No, I think that Wolfear Avenger is very good, and just being able to regenerate your own creature is beneficial sometimes. I think that being able to do that, like, oh, like, I can have this dude around still, and he can stay around, he can act as a blocker still. So I think that he is very fun. Then we're going to move on to our next portion. Will, you...
We gotta talk about Raised by Wolves, dude.
Yes.
Raised by Wolves is one of my favorite cards. Shout out to you too. Raised by Wolves is awesome. It's so flavorful. The art is fantastic. Like this pack of wolves, like a leopard in the middle of them, and it's just great. So Raised by Wolves is a 5-mana card. It's 3 generic and 2 green for an enchantment aura. It says enchant creature. When Raised by Wolves enters the battlefield, put 2 green wolf creature tokens on the battlefield. Enchanter creature gets +1/+1 for each wolf you control. So it's going to buff up one of your gun dudes. It's going to give you some woofs, and it's going to be good. And normally we don't like auras because you can get 2 for 1, but it comes down. It makes 2 wolves, and
it's going to gain you 6 life.
Yeah.
It's going to fight and potentially kill someone, and it's making your dude just big, just in of itself.
So if they remove out the creature that you target, whatever, you still got value out of it.
Yeah, no. I think that Raised by Wolves is sick. I love Raised by Wolves.
Now, granted, you still can get blown out if they, like, target it in response.
Yes.
Like, if they kill your dude in response. But,
you know,
it's flavorful.
I think that Raised by Wolves is probably the cutest of the ones we have. Then, a card that I really like, and a card that is very similar to Wolfear or Silverheart, is Primal Force Mage.
Ooh, I love the name on this one.
Yeah, the art's kind of just janky though. I'm not really sure like what this dude is doing.
It's time spiral art, so
who knows? Primal Force Mage. It's 3 mana for a 2/2. It's a creature. It's an elf shaman, and it says whenever another creature comes into play under control, that creature gets +3/+3 on the turn. So normally this wouldn't make sense and wouldn't matter in a deck. But
no haste.
Like who cares about that? But having your creatures come in and being immediately buffed, and again, same thing with Wolfear Silverheart, just being able to kill you, be more efficient with your creatures, and potentially help them stick around and just help kill your opponent's stuff. So just good card all around. Doesn't need a lot more explaining. Now we're gonna move on to some artifacts that I thought were super janky and fun and would be cool to put in the deck. So first of all, we have a win con. Will, what is one of our win cons for this deck?
So like Drew said, there's kind of a life gain sub theme in this, and all life gain decks need an Aetherflux Reservoir. So Aetherflux Reservoir says it's a 4-mana artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you cast this turn. You pay 50 life. Aetherflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to target creature or player. You get to nuke someone, Death Star them, laser beam them, pew, whatever you want it to be. They're probably dead for the low price of 50 life.
Yes. It kind of sucks to pay 50 life, but having just that threat to me to take someone out of the game is just scary, and people just tend to kind of back off from you once you have this. If you have the 50 life, like, people aren't really gonna want to touch you because like if I touch them, then I'm out of the game, and I don't want to be out of the game. So you kind of hold it as this always ready red button to push.
Threat of activation is real because
Yes.
you will just kill people.
Yes. No, yeah. So I think that that's a fun one. One that we don't have on here that I think we should have thrown on here was there's going to be two we're going to talk about real quick. We're going to talk about Panharmonicon. Panharmonicon is a 4-mana artifact, and it says if an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability, or if a permanent you control to trigger, that triggers an additional time. So Tolsimir is gaining 6 life off of your dudes. Your dudes are going to be hitting for harder. It's disgusting. I mean, that they won't be hitting for harder. If they survive, then yes, you can have them fight again. I think, yeah, you can have them fight again. But yeah, I think the gain of 6 life is just relevant. I think it's just cute. Also, you create 2 tokens with Tolsimir, but that doesn't matter unless
because they'll legend rule each other.
But unless you have the cute card Mirror Gallery, which is just simply 5 mana for an artifact that says the legend rule doesn't apply.
Yeah.
So having Tolsimir come in and create 2, well, not 2 Voyas, but I think that this is kind of niche and isn't, a great card to have in there if you don't have...
You could set it up, maybe.
I think you can set it up. So if you have either Panharmonicon or like Conjurer's Closet where you're constantly making more Voyas, otherwise it's just not really relevant. I think that like either if he gets removed and Voya doesn't, just being able to have more than 1 Voya I think is maybe potentially relevant. And I think that that's just a fun thing to have with Mirror Gallery. I think that, I wouldn't put that high in the list of have because it's a little bit more expensive. It's like a $12 card. If you're like looking for cards to cut, Mirror Gallery is probably one to cut. But I think it's a cute thing and a cute interaction that you can have, because I think that making the legend rule not apply is just a fun thing in general. So
it's neat.
Yeah.
It's neat. Cool.
Yeah, and so that's it for Tolsimir. I think that Tolsimir and his puppers are cute.
An
boys.
elf and his friends.
His elf.
They're friends,
They're
dude.
friends. They're friends doing their thing.
If we ever go to like a Magic Fest, we should cosplay as Tolsimir and Voja.
The thing is, one of us has to be Voja.
Yeah, you can be Voja.
And I knew you would tell me I'd have to be Voja.
You have the hair for
I
it.
have the hair for it.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, no, thank you guys for listening in with us. We hope that you liked the deck. If you have any recommendations on cards that you think that we missed and would love to see is like, oh, you need to have this in Tolsimir, go ahead and send us an email at oncurveedh@gmail.com. Or if you have like a deck tech idea of things that you maybe think we should hit, go ahead and just send us an email. Also follow us on Twitter, on Curve EDH, or on Facebook. You can also find us on Curve EDH. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, friends.